What did you think of how you guys played on Sunday?
I think there was times where we did some good things, but overall, when you don't win, I think it's like, are you playing winning football? And we didn't do that because we didn't we let them get off to a better start than we would have liked. We didn't play that great on third down, stuff that we've been really good at, and then we didn't disrupt the ball. Like, we never were able to set up our offense with really good field position. The one time we kind of pinned them back, then their punter made a great punt and flipped the field even more than you would have liked. So to me, it's like winning football, and whatever it takes to win that game, are you able to do that? So at the end of the day, like that's really what the answer is if you didn't do enough to win the game, it didn't go the way you wanted it to go. You didn't play well enough. So
What do you think was the catalyst for some of that third down stuff you were talking about?
yeah, I mean it was almost a combination of things. I would say we had 2 penalties on third down, which was uncharacteristic of us. We sort of dropped in a zone, and the guy made a nice throw and catch that was right at the sticks. And then we had a couple rushes where we didn't, quarterback got out on us a couple times. So credit to him. I thought he was very competitive and willing to do whatever it took for that game. Hurt us with his legs at times. Made a couple nice throws. So just major credit to him and their coaching staff for having him ready to play. But yeah, there's definitely things we're chasing to be better at.
You guys have been able to defend the run pretty well out of nickel with Derwin close to line of scrimmage through the first 3 weeks. They were pretty successful against your nickel looks on the ground. Just how'd you feel like the run defense was in that specific package, and what do you think they were able to maybe attack it?
I thought I guess I don't know the exact numbers. There was really like 2 runs that a 16-yard draw and a 15-yard run by the running back. Outside of that, I would say in nickel we played the run really well. To me, it just started the first 2 plays, where the first play is a 2 or 3 yard run, kind of what you're looking for. Second and 7 or 8, and then get a PI, which moves the ball up. In the NFL, a big penalty. And then it's cat and mouse of, you want to load up and single up the guys on the outside, whatever it may be. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot to improve on in that area. Like I said, but also, I mean, the flow of the game allowed them to run the ball 42 times, which that's the problem. Allowing them to run the ball that many times, not being disruptive enough, not getting any turnovers, never being able to get the lead. That allows the team to sort of control the pace of the game in that regard. So, 3.7 yards a carry normally is pretty good, but when they run it that many times, that's definitely too many yards.
Seems like Jaden Daniels plays Sunday. What do you think just from his poise as a young player and then his dual threat ability?
Yeah, electric, great poise. I mean, this is a guy similar to a few of the quarterbacks that have come out the last couple of years where they played 5-6 years of college football. So I would say different than traditional rookies of years past. Kind of throw like Bo Nix in that category, like the guys that played a ton of college football, where they come in and they're more ready to play, than maybe a guy that goes 3 and out and really is a 1 or 2 year starter. So he's seen a lot. He played 2 different schools, was super productive at both places. And then obviously last year took the league by storm. I mean, this guy was really in the MVP conversation, obviously Rookie of the Year, had his team in the NFC Championship game. And so it's a major challenge, what he can do both with his arm and his legs. He can stand back there and make all the throws, and then he can, take your soul on quarterback scrambles in a key situation. And so it's a major focus, something that we've got to improve on, I would say, is being better against those types of quarterbacks scrambling. So much respect for him, much respect for Cliff Kingsbury, how he runs that offense, all their weapons. They got guys all over the place, and it's a great challenge. But it's also a challenge that you get excited about.
Kind of predicted Thule's Forsyth game. Any other predictions for this week? Or?
No. Guys that do that stuff on a consistent basis, the way they prepare, the way they practice, the way they play. That's the focal point for us, is like, you know, when you win, sometimes you come back, you certainly try to fix things, but it's easy sometimes to gloss over a little detail. When you lose, I think it's like full, you know, you go recalibrate. And so you look at everything maybe a little bit harder, deeper, stuff you're doing in preparation, how you're handling the meeting room, how you're handling the walkthroughs, how you're handling the field. So just really trying to get everybody on the page of, you know, Thule, who does this all the time, Derwin, you know, guys like that. So the more guys we get that are that super locked in and detailed and consistent, then the better we'll play.
With Thule, is there anything that he's like added to his game from last year to this year from a technique standpoint, like pass rushing bag standpoint, that you feel like has contributed to a fast start here?
You know, I don't know the specifics of that, I would say. I think he's just like any player, the more you play, the more success you have, like the natural confidence grows. He feels like he can go out there and dominate. And I think a lot of guys feel that way coming out, and then, you know, you're a rookie or you're a second year guy, and you're trying to find that rhythm. He's had some really, really good moments and really good games and really good stretches, but I just believe now that he prepares how he sees himself as a player, which is at an elite level. And I think Khalil has been a great influence on him in that regard. The guy, Khalil, you know, we've talked about it before, like, works like he's a second year player trying to make the team. And so Thule is one of our top guys running to the ball every day, one of our top guys in preparation and communication. And when you become like that and you prepare like that, oftentimes it leads to a performance like that. And so it's a great lesson for other people. Super proud of him. And as he continues to do that, he'll continue to have that type of production and those type of games.
What are you, do you have something? Sorry, you go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say,
Show here.
what have you kind of seen about Debo's role so far in Washington? He's always been a versatile player, but it seems like they're trying to get the ball to him as much as they can so far.
Yeah, he's a force. You know, he's like I would compare him a little bit to like an offensive version of Derwin, where, you know, he wears different hats for them and what he does. He's almost like a running back. He's almost like, he's obviously a receiver, but he can be a running back. He can almost be like a tight end, because he'll chip an edge guy and then catch the ball and then go vertical. So he's like an offensive weapon, like a positionless offensive weapon that you better know where he's at. They find very creative ways to get him the ball. When he gets the ball in space, he's as good as a lot of tailbacks, like in the open field in the NFL. And a receiver as well, but like the tailback that can outrun an angle, but then is also really physical as a runner too, will finish runs. So great challenge. They do a great job moving him around. I just see him as a weapon for them, you know. And guy that they added, I think they maybe looked at how they used him in San Francisco. There seems to be a little bit of element of that, where they'll hand him the ball, do things. I mean, he took one to the house in the first game on a handoff. And so definitely a guy we got to know where he's at, be aware of, and really, really try to limit the yards after he gets the ball. Whether they hand it to him, they throw it to him in space, it's like a yards, you know, talk about yards after a catch, but it may even be a handoff to him or a reverse or something. It's like limit his ability to get yards after he has the ball in his hands would be critical to our success.
Just with Dayon, obviously he's been working his way back from this illness.
Yeah.
Just what are you seeing from him right now?
I think, you know, he's dealt with a little bit of adversity in a sense that, I mean, trying to think of when he's been, the first game, of course, he was healthy, played really well, and then, you know, I mean, basically went without doing too much of practice, had the Raiders game without too much of practice, had the Denver game, was starting to work his way back in. So I just think, like, you know, it's harder to stay in rhythm when you're just playing in the games and maybe doing walkthroughs. As he's gotten healthier and getting back into practice, I think he's gaining his rhythm back. I expect him to be what he is and be one of the best linebackers in the league. But you know, he's always chasing improvements like everybody. So I expect him to just continue to improve as he gets the ability physically and health-wise to be able to do everything that he normally does.
Tony and Elijah have split snaps on Sunday, is that just more alive to kind of coming back, or, how beneficial, I guess, is it to have a collection of guys like that?
Yeah, it's really beneficial. I've talked about it before, like guys that can help you play, that can play well, that are prepared, that, you know, one guy playing 70 snaps versus two guys playing however, maybe equal or whatever, is better at it. There are some positions where we're able to do that right now, and there's some where we're not. You know, I look at the linebackers, and those two guys are playing almost every snap, so it'll be exciting when we, you know, kind of bring DP back into the mix here soon, to balance those reps. So I always think it's a huge benefit. Probably do it a little bit more corner as well, coming going. And so just the guys that can play, that have earned the right to play, need to play. And then I think it just helps everybody get through a grueling, physical 17-game season. You're able to do that.
You mentioned Jaden as a scrambler, one of the best in the league. Just how do you feel like as a defense you guys have performed against these scrambling quarterbacks since you got here? And I guess what are sort of the coaching points for your defense?
Yeah, at times, you know, it's just a whole nother element to defend. You know, when you rush forward, play zone coverage, like your 4-man rush better be really well designed. And if he gets through there, well, oftentimes those are where they occur. You have to commit something to that particular thing. We've done that a little bit more this year with some of these guys. Kansas City, you know, Gino, I mean, Bo, all those type of guys, even this past game a couple times. So I think there's just a fine line of having to do that all the time, and then also being able to rush 4 and 5 and send pressures and be really detailed in the rush lanes. And we had a good pressure pick the other day, and a guy loses his feet, and then it opens up a big lane. You know, so you got to just be super tight and detailed. You can't give offenses the same look every time, where they figure out a way to combat that. So it's something that we're striving to be better at. We've been good at times and bad at times is how I would really answer how we've done. So it's something that we're always striving to be better at.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.